Today is January 21st, and today's quote is entitled, "Afraid of Getting Too Close." One monk prayed, "O Lord, give me celibacy, but not just yet." Unfortunately, we are afraid of getting too close to Krishna too fast. That's a very interesting concept. It's something I meditated on. I don't know if you've thought about this or aware of it, but I think everybody thinks like this in some sense, perhaps subconsciously, that there's a little fear of becoming Krishna conscious too fast. The idea, if I become Krishna conscious too fast, maybe I won't be able to handle it. Maybe it will require a level of surrender that I'm unable to handle. But then the problem is that the activities which would bring you closer to Krishna, particularly chanting your rounds, which is can very powerfully bring you to Krishna, you might subconsciously feel that if I chant really good rounds, it could be a problem for me because I may become more Krishna conscious than I'm ready to handle. Well, that's one of the offenses of the holy name, to maintain material attachments. In other words, I'm advancing through the process, but there's a fear in me that the process is causing me to give up things, and I feel a little bit uncomfortable without these material attachments. So, I wanted to address that, and it's very simple to understand. If we can't come, number one, you really can't come closer to Krishna than you're able to or qualified to or you're renounced enough to. So the fear of coming closer, it doesn't happen. You only come as close as you are advanced in Krishna consciousness. So, but the other side, then you might say, but what if I get mercy and it just pushes me to Krishna? Because that does happen. But what happens when you come closer to Krishna is there's a natural detachment. That's our philosophy. Detachment on some level is required. We have to force it. But real detachment is a byproduct of Krishna consciousness. So if you're coming closer and closer to Krishna and you're worried, well, how will I give up so many things because when I become more Krishna conscious, maybe I'll become too renounced and I won't be able to handle it. That's not the case, because you can only become that renounced as a byproduct of being Krishna conscious. So if it's a byproduct of Krishna consciousness, obviously you can handle it because you're doing it naturally. It's voluntary. So I think there's an illusion because of our material conditioning that coming close to Krishna might be painful, surrender might be painful, it may be extremely difficult, I may not be able to live comfortably and so forth. But it's not like that at all. That's a material way of thinking. And if you understand anything about fear, fear is very interesting because we fear things that we haven't experienced. Well, I don't know if I could do that, I'm afraid. Well, how do you know you would be afraid because you haven't done it? So we're saying, I don't know if I can handle a high level of Krishna consciousness. Well, how would you know unless you had it? So fear is very illusory because we're afraid of things that we've never had, and we're looking at it. It's not a train, it's a bus driver whose hand is stuck on the horn. Hare Krishna. So, how would you know something? How would you know you couldn't handle something unless you were on that level? So the point is there's a lot of fear which comes from a material way of thinking. I'm looking at Krishna consciousness from my material perspective, thinking, well, if I was on that level, it would be really hard to handle. That's not true. If you were on that level, you would be ecstatic, you would be blissful, you would be happy, you would be renounced naturally. So the way we're supposed to think is we're supposed to look forward to advancing in Krishna consciousness. Kabe habe bolo se dinamar. When will that day be mine? When my offenses ceasing, taste for the name increasing. When Will your mercy shine? When, oh when will that day be mine? When, oh when will I be running on the banks of the Ganges chanting, Gauranga, Gauranga, half mad of mind, half mad of mind. Yes. That's the way we're supposed to be thinking. When, oh when is that day going to come? Not, I don't know if I can handle that. I don't know, surrender, it's pretty heavy stuff, and what if I become detached? And no, don't think that way. Always look forward to advancing in Krishna consciousness. That's how you advance. When, oh when will I become closer to Krishna? That's how we should be thinking. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.